All right, just past our usual start time. Give me just 1 second here. When you talk for nearly half an hour, you have to make certain that you keep enough to wet your whistle. All right, so far, let me just make certain that we are where we need to be. It is Tuesday night. Again, thanks for joining us. If you are just tuning in, we're just getting started, so stay tuned for a lot more coming up here in just a little bit, making certain all the cameras are where they need to be. This is Weather Overtime. We are live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. Complete and total cloud cover today. Hardly anything in the way of sunshine, and probably not seeing a lot of clear skies tonight. It would be nice if we had that, but as of right now, we've got a lot of clouds out there, and that is a bit of a problem for the eclipse, which is ongoing. If you haven't heard about that, we have a partial eclipse going on. By the time we are on with this, it's about almost 10 o'clock, so we're approaching the peak of the eclipse coming up here pretty soon. It's a partial eclipse. It's not exactly a huge one, but it is still an eclipse, so it is very nice to be able to see stuff like that happening. So if you have clear skies, get out there and take a look at it. The peak, again, coming up here in just a little while. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a bit, so stay tuned there. We do not have any severe weather taking place. We have barely any rain in the forecast. It's not looking good for anything involving weather anytime soon. Chattanooga Zoo web camera looking back toward Erlanger Hospital over on 4th Street, just north of downtown and close to the river, looking at very clear skies earlier on, but otherwise not getting too much in the way of clear skies for right now. Temperature at the airport, we are back to the lower 70s at this time. So let me adjust one of my cameras here real quick so I can get everybody back in the picture. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, sorry about this. I'm going to have to get this camera fixed at some point in time, unfortunately. And sorry about the halo, but unfortunately I can't operate this with the way the lights are. The production department manager promised me that he was going to be fixing this, but haven't heard back from him on that. This is, again, are fairly quiet conditions for now, and it's beautiful. It's a great evening out there, and probably is going to be, again, looking at some quiet conditions for now. 4 days and change until the changeover in seasons. The equinox happens this Sunday at 8:43 a.m., so we do see a change in season, if not quite a change in temperature. Speaking of which, how did we do on the temperatures? 76, thanks to all that cloud cover across the area that blocked out the sunshine. We, again, have a very nice day, well below normal on the temperatures, back into the mid-80s. Way below that, very nice on there, not even close to our record high, which is last set. 2019 was a hot year around here. Saying again, no rainfall. We need more rain. We do not have anything else in the way of rain anytime soon, so 2 inches behind for the month of September, and for the year we're over 10.25 inches behind. That is some pretty powerfully dry conditions, and we could definitely use some more anytime soon. Temperatures at near the top of the hour, 60s and 70s, a few lower 60s, well back over into around North Carolina. So we do have a bit of a cool down taking place. You can definitely see where the temperatures were much cooler today. Well back over portions of the Appalachians, eastern United States, much warmer, still close to 80 degrees up around St. Louis, and there's a good reason, again, for the sunshine out there warming things up. We do have the remnants of a tropical system. Doesn't really have a name per se. Well, it didn't get a name, so it is just what was potential PTC 8, potential tropical cyclone 8. That, again, is our system here. It's just hanging around. Basically, all of Francine has just sort of withered away. There's not much left of it anymore. So basically that is washed out in the atmosphere. This is going to be sticking around here, giving us a little bit more in the way of clouds and some rainfall taking place. May begin to see some more showers out of this. You can see with the green on screen a little bit of very light amounts of moisture. Southeast Kentucky, the Carolinas, the Virginias, and some of that might make its way down to and over our area. I forgot to mention, for those of you who are just tuning in, if you would like to drop a note into the stream chat function on on YouTube or on Twitch. If you'd like to ask a question, if you'd like to say hi, anything like that, please give us an idea as to where you're from, what's going on, things like that. Would love to have some comments from you on that. Now, either one of these systems are not worth much. This one's going to be kind of wandering around the southeast United States and giving us more potential of showers and thunderstorms back to the east of us. For us, anytime soon, the chances of rain, to put it mildly, are not great. We see Knoxville picking up a fraction of an inch in the next couple of days, and then the really heavy amounts of rainfall, as in 1/4 of an inch or more, that's going to be back to our east. That's where the heaviest rainfall came down. Some parts of the Carolinas picking up 10 to 12 inches of rain in the last couple of days. So they're going to take some time to dry out there as what's left of PTC 8 just wanders its way on through. Next few days, more dry weather in store. Not seeing a lot in the way of help where it comes to cool down. So through the third week of September, it's a good possibility we will see numbers rather on the warm side once again. Record-breaking, probably not. Record-setting, probably not. But record-high temperatures, you've got to get at least into the triple digits, and we are just not there at this point. But it is going to be noticeably warmer, and we'll talk about that in the forecast here. Let's just go ahead and do the 7-day while we're at it to show you more about what is happening for now. Into the next couple of days, here's what we are looking for. For Thursday, International Talk Like a Pirate Day for all you landlubbers out there who love to pick up a crew in Penzance. Next possible chance of rainfall, way off the charts over here on the far side of the forecast. Maybe a 40% chance of showers and maybe a thunderstorm coming up next Tuesday. So a week from now, that's as much as we are going to wind up with. Last day of summer is going to feel like it. First day of autumn is going to feel like it. Temperatures, this tomorrow is going to be about normal, back in the lower to mid 80s. So that will be spot on mid-September normal for this time of the year. Then we get into the weekend and temperatures well above normal. Again, closer to a record high. Not so sure we're going to make that record high, and I would rather not if at all possible. I'm quite ready for some chilly jacket weather out there. We might make our way back into the mid to upper 80s by the time we get into next week. Again, anything that happens on this side of the forecast, as it takes a long time to make its way all the way over here, that is where things are going to be changing, and we will see those changes over the next few days. We'll keep you updated on that, but suffice it to say that this 40% chance of rain next week, by the time we get from there to here, probably a pretty good idea that we will, again, be looking for the possibility of less and less rainfall, unless something radically changes in the atmosphere, a new storm system coming up from the Gulf, something like that, which is possible. And I mentioned that to preface a little bit more about what we're going to be talking about here in just a minute or two. First of all, I want to take a look at the current conditions out there. Again, the remnants of PTC 8 just wandering around the southeast United States. So what else is going on out there for us to be concerned about? Well, there is a couple of things. First off, we've got Gordon, or what was left of Gordon, all the way out into around the mid-Atlantic. Now, what does that have to do with anything? Well, technically right now, nothing. But 1 second here. Let's go ahead and take that number up. The National Hurricane Center has just increased the possibility of Gordon's redevelopment into a tropical storm. That has now gone up to 60%. So that is significant, and we may see, again, the potential of a tropical storm. We do not have any plots from the National Hurricane Center at this time, as Gordon is a disturbance at best right now. So there's really nothing happening that is showing anything in the way of development. But there is the possibility to where we could see this system redevelop, and if that is the case, somewhere in this orange shaded area, that is where we could see Tropical Storm Gordon come back to life again. As these storms go over the center part of the Atlantic, there's really not that much out there. You got Bermuda, you got the Leeward Islands, you got Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, but way out here, there is hardly anything outside of shipping routes, and even then, most of the ships out there will steer around these things. But if this happens to where we see the system redevelop, then we could see a stronger storm system. But as of right now, this is nicknamed a fish storm, as it is only bothering the fish. There's nobody else out there to bother. Now, taking a look a little farther over to the area around the Western Caribbean, right to the east of the Yucatan Peninsula. This is going to be very interesting because as of right now, it is possible we could see some development. There's a 20% chance of some development according to the National Hurricane Center on this. Now I'm going to go from here, and we're going to go to a very long-range outlook, about 120 hours out. And again, wish casting for snow, which happens a lot. You go to those big computer models and you say, look, this could be a potential blizzard. Well, yes, a potential blizzard, but again, it's one of those things that we really need to pay attention to on here, that things, as I said before, will change. Notice again, by about Monday, kind of some activity going on starts to get a little bit more distinct as we go into Tuesday, and then by the time we hit Wednesday, right around Wednesday morning, really starting to see more of a coherent spin here. That is where we could be looking at the possibility of maybe the H name storm. That, again, that's way in the future. That's borrowing trouble right there, because this computer model will, again, usually change pretty well. Now, as this goes into around, let's see how far we can push this, Wednesday afternoon and evening, it looks like this system will be making its way up a little farther back toward the bend of Florida on the west coast. So we could see by this time next Wednesday a fairly organized storm system. Now, tropical storm, hurricane, that is way in the future. So for right now, I don't want to speculate that much, but what I do want to talk about is the fact that as of right now, the computer models are saying, including the National Hurricane Center paying attention to this, that there may be another system in possible development according to what we're seeing. There's no investigation number, so we can't give you the computer models on this. This computer model does show the potential of something, but again, that far out, as we get closer to the event, we'll know more, and we'll let you know more about it as we go into the next couple of days. So if you're planning any trips, say from New Orleans east and from the Keys north, that is where you're going to want to watch what is happening with this next potential system. Now, in 2-3 days, this may be a big nothing burger. There might not be anything going on. And if that's the case, we'll let you know about it. So for right now, we're going to continue to monitor for the potential of this next system. Whether or not we get anything out of it, time will tell, but that's the way these forecasts work. There's the possibility. This is not fear-mongering. This is not hyping. This is reading the forecast so we can tell you what may happen. So if you're planning a trip down this direction, maybe you want to reconsider, because you don't want to be heading into an area where something is going to be making its way toward the coastline, and not great beach weather, as we saw with PTC 8 just a couple of days ago. So this has the potential to be something very unique and interesting. That, again, is something that we really, really need to watch out there. So anybody who's joining us, again, thanks for tuning in. This is Weather Overtime. We've got a few more things to go on. But if you'd like to drop a comment on Twitch or YouTube, we're trying to get set up to where I can do an Instagram reel on here so that you can see a little bit more about what's going on. The problem is I need to get everything set up with the cameras, and so far that's a little difficult. So I've got 2 cameras running, and I'm not too sure how I can get my cell phone in here between these 2 cameras so I can see everything that's going on, so you can see what's going on. I'll see what happens in the semi-near future. Time is right now, as of the time that we're recording this, is 10:08. The moon rose several hours ago, and we are approaching the peak of the eclipse. I would like to show it to you on our webcams, but they won't pan upwards at that angle, so we really can't show you too much of anything. But tonight, the moon will darken, has been for a while. The peak of the eclipse, where you see the darkest umbra at the north portion between, say, 10, 11, 12 o'clock on the moon's surface as a clock face. That is where the darkest shadow will be. This is a partial lunar eclipse. The shadow of the moon being cast on the shadow of the Earth being cast on the moon. That is what we're going to be seeing tonight, if the clouds part enough, and they were just almost out of the way when I came back from the dinner break here. So this, hopefully, is exactly what we need to clear things up. Now, the eclipse will be over with as we go toward 1:45 on Wednesday morning. So this will be the next best thing. This is the full moon. This is the full hunter's moon. It is also a super moon. It's a lot closer to the Earth. Well, it's semi-closer anyway. Neil deGrasse Tyson likens it between a regular moon and a super moon, the difference between a medium and a large pizza. There's really not that much difference. But the neat thing is that if it gets people talking about astronomy and science, that's just plenty cool for me. So good to know, and hopefully you get out there to see this again before the shadow disappears here within about the next 30 minutes as we record this at about 10 o'clock on Tuesday evening. So hopefully it looks pretty good on that. All right, a couple of extracurriculars. Let's go to our weather poll of the day, and thanks to everybody for voting on this. We're talking a lot about the climate, a lot about recycling, and about how to keep our planet livable, which would be a nice idea because we can't live anywhere else in the solar system. Monofilament fishing line. Used in recreational fishing, used in professional fishing, used in large bycatch fishing, drift nets, things of that nature. It does break down, but it takes time. The question is, how long does it take to decompose in the wild? 100, 250, 600 years, or up to 1,000 years? And 34% of you voted for the correct answer, 600 years. That's how long it takes that plastic stuff to break down. So we'll bring you another question coming up as we go into tomorrow. Thanks to friendinroofing.com for being our web sponsor of the day. Really do appreciate that. So thank you very much. Thanks to all of our sponsors for being our sponsors and for helping out on things. Speaking of which, brand new forecast sponsor on here. I know I had it in here someplace. Give me just 2 seconds to make certain that we have this. Let's see. If you haven't heard about this so far, we started off this dog walking forecast a couple of years ago, and now we have a new sponsor for this page, Rough Cuts Dog Grooming from Cleveland, Tennessee. If you've never been there, a great place to take Fido for a bath and a trim. We're featuring people's pets. So if you've got pictures out there, we'd love to see your pet in action someplace. This one, thank you very much, News 12 viewer Whitney Whitaker from Chickamauga, a view of her dog Ace. And I have to say, so far, outside of Marnie and a couple of other, I think Dougie, the Shih Tzu, I have not seen a dog around here with an Instagram and a TikTok account. So nice to meet Ace the Land Shark, and that's the handle right there too if you want to visit him. But the area around tonight, few clouds, but otherwise not doing too bad if you're going to go out. If you've got a dog picture, and we don't care where you're from, if you've got a dog picture, if you'd like to give us your address and your name, or you can be anonymous if you want to, send us your pup pictures. You can go to wdef.com/dogwalk for more, and we'd be proud to put your picture up there, and we'll try to get them onto social media as well so everybody can see more about that. All right, school day tomorrow from preschool to postdoc. You're going to be heading out early in the morning. Temperatures back into the lower 60s, and temperatures through dismissal time should be relatively mild if the clouds stick around out there. So that is going to be the main thing we're going to be looking at into tomorrow. Temperatures should be decently mild, maybe a little bit warmer, but it really depends on the cloud cover out there. If it's a lot thicker, then we may not see quite as much. There's also the possibility, I should mention, of some fog in the morning. So if you're heading out for anything recreational, say fishing, boating, canoeing, temperatures will be mild in the mid-80s, and then winds light out of the north. Again, a little bit of dry air in there, so some good news where that's concerned. Heading out of the golf course, just enough sunshine to illuminate things a little bit, but if that sky is a little bit more cloudy, temperatures will be below what they are showing here. So that is something that we really could be looking at for some changes in the weather. A little bit more clouds, cooler, a little bit less clouds, warmer. So that is, again, where we see the potential changes coming up into tomorrow on there. Okay, now this is what we wanted to feature for the main bit of our weather segment. I get a lot of questions from a lot of people over the years in regards to getting involved in meteorology, the degree that I got, the degree that other people get. How do I get out of grade school, high school, college, and become a storm chaser? My one complete and total answer you will always hear me talk about when it comes to chasing storms is you do not chase storms. Period. End of sentence. Don't argue with me unless you have had proper and a huge amount of training from experts who know how to do it. People who go rushing off, as Professor Charles Chuck Doswell refers to them, as storm chasing yahoos, you do not want to be those type of people. If you're chasing, that's great, but don't act like an idiot, and don't put yourself in danger, and most importantly, don't put anybody else in danger by your antics on the roadway. Safety first, safety always. Safety is the only way to go on anything out there when it comes to dealing with weather like this. Now, that's my standard answer. There's going to be a lot of people who don't agree with me. Fair enough. Email address at the bottom of the screen, aonek@wdef.com if you disagree. But here is a very cool thing coming up from the American Meteorological Society, the AMS Weather Band section of their website, available at ametsoc.org, ametsoc.org, and also from the female-led Girls Who Chase group. They're going to be holding a online seminar coming up a week from today, 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time on Zoom. If you're interested in weather, if you're interested in meteorology or storm chasing or anything like that, there's going to be a great panel of experts out there, including Ginger Z-E-E from ABC News, the chief meteorologist, Elizabeth Lightman, forecaster for the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. I follow her, and she's got some great stuff to talk about when it comes to the procedure of severe weather at the NOAA research facilities and the Storm Prediction Center. Really fascinating to take a look at. Karen Kosiba, managing director of the Doppler on Wheels facility program, and Melanie Metz, a veteran chaser and photographer. If you want to know more about how it's done, the best way to do this is to go to the experts and to find out more details as to what's going on, and most importantly, how you can stay safe. That is one of the best things that you can possibly do. Now, this is going to be, again, a seminar, and they are asking for it's a Q&A session. Submit your questions in advance to be asked of the panel or a panelist using the form on their website. And we've got the website loaded up on our website at wdef.com/weather with this graphic here, so you can find out a little bit more about what to look for in that location. Again, great opportunity to find out more how these people got into weather, how they got into storm chasing, any other weather-related questions you might have. This is an enormously cool and fairly rare opportunity to have this much weather brain power in one location to be able to answer your question. So if you are interested in weather, if you're younger and you want to, or even my age, if you want to pursue a meteorology degree, or if you want to learn more about how to chase storms, great, fine, learn from the experts. And this will be Tuesday, September 24th at 1 p.m. Eastern. It'll be on Zoom. You have to register for it. Again, all the information is available from the American Meteorological Society, and you can go to my social media pages if you want to check in for more on this. So a great opportunity. Again, please take advantage of that to find out more from some great forecasting, weather knowledgeable folks. Really looking forward to this and how everything pans out here. So I'd be love to know more about that. If you'd love to check out our website to find out some more on there. If you'd like to know more about being a Skywarn spotter, the National Weather Service in Morristown is holding an online virtual Skywarn class where you can go take the class information, take the test online, and then you can graduate and become a Skywarn spotter for whatever area you happen to live in. More information on their website at weather.gov/MRX. That's the 3-letter code for the National Weather Service in Morristown. And also you can find out more again at our website, WDEF.com/weather for more details there. Also, and just one more bit of information, coming up in just about 10 days, this is a rare event to where the National Weather Service opens its doors to the public. And if you'd like to know more, head to those same websites for more, and you can find out more about the National Weather Service Open House, which is going to be taking place a Saturday and another Saturday away from us, the end of the month, September 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Morristown at 5974 Commerce Boulevard in Morristown. It's rare the National Weather Service just opens its doors for a public open house. So if you'd like to see more about things, a lot of people these days are saying, you know what, NOAA is the cause of all of our climate change problems because they keep talking about it. So all we have to do is just get rid of NOAA and there'll be no more climate change talk, and then people will leave it alone. Well, that's not the case, and that's a very short-sighted way of doing things. If you'd like to know more about what NOAA does, what better way to know than to ask the experts who work for NOAA in a capacity that keeps you safe. These are the folks that issue the warnings that we bring to you. The National Weather Service in Morristown covers a part of the News 12 viewing area. So if you'd like to know more about what NOAA does, instead of getting hearsay or political Feldercarb from all over the place, go to this open house and ask questions. Find out more about what NOAA does. If you've never explored what NOAA does and are just accepting people's words that NOAA is bad, you really need to ask some very tough questions and also need to get more information up here about what's going on. NOAA does so much more than study, analyze, and get information to the public on climate change. And I know for a lot of people that's a dirty 4-letter word, but it is happening, and humans are mostly causing that. So that is something we need to study to keep our world habitable. And a lot of people do not like hearing about stuff like this. Why? I'm not entirely too sure. Because they're afraid, because they just don't want to know, because people told them to be afraid. It's kind of a very sad mystery in and of itself. So here's the opportunity to walk into a National Weather Service office with an open mind and say, tell me about what you do. And there's going to be a bunch of events. Great opportunity to learn more. That's, again, coming up by the end of the month, the last Saturday of September, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you'd like to know more, please drop by and find out more information, again, on our websites for more details. All right, I think that's going to do it for tonight. I've got a lot more stuff to record. And before we go on with News 12 at 11, so definitely want to stay tuned again for more on that. Let's see, no, wait, we got one more thing to do, and I did not do that. Apologies to our Langley Roofing sponsor of Weather Window. A beautiful picture 1 week ago tonight of sunset at AT&T Field. Thank you very much, News 12 viewer David Smith from Chattanooga. Beautiful view of one of the last games of the season. Pity the Lookouts didn't do better this time around, but no minor league World Series, it appears. If you've got pictures, we'd love to see what your pictures look like, and we'll send them on to everybody else. Drop them off to us. You can drop them at our social media pages in the comments section. You can email them to us, or you can go to our website, wdef.com/photos, to drop off your pictures, and yours could be the next Langley Roofing Weather Window picture of the day. So definitely want to stay tuned again for more on that. And please send us in your pictures. We're running a little low, so we could definitely use some help. We don't care where you're from. If you want to be anonymous, that's cool. Send us your pictures, or at least just give us a location or a description so we can tell people what you saw and where. If you want to be a Nani Mouse, that's fine. Not a problem. We will not cause a problem for you out there, and use your name. Follow me on all my social media pages. News 12 is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm on all of these. Stop by chess.com or lichess.org for a match. I'm not a grandmaster, but I do like playing the game just to see what happens. I don't know my rankings. I'm not great. I know my way around a chessboard, but again, I'm not exactly a grandmaster at any point in time. That should do it for tonight. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. Thanks for joining us for Tuesday's edition of Weather Overtime. Had more than a few people stopping by on YouTube. Glad to see that. Not too many on Twitch, but that's okay. We'll catch up with you a little bit later on. Chip Chapman has got your forecast bright and early tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. peak of the week Wednesday, so stay tuned for more there. And stay tuned for more with News 12, website at the bottom of your screen, WDEF.